Welcome back to KETV News Watch 7's Chronicle. This is an Apple AirTag. It's the device designed by Apple to help keep track of items. But reports nationwide show more people are using the tags for the wrong reasons. Now we're hearing similar stories in Omaha, like one woman who says she'd been tracked for months. We're calling her Linda to protect her and her family's identity. KETV News Watch 7's Kaylee Searcy shares her story.
The day started off like normal. Linda was out shopping with her daughter, but as soon as she pulled into the driveway,
I had a notification on my phone that said an unknown device has been with you and the owner can see its location.
After clicking on it, a map popped up showing every store she went 2 hours earlier.
I kind of just brushed it off as a joke because I didn't realize that people were actually doing this.
Following a call to Apple, she quickly realized it wasn't a prank.
She said that she didn't want to scare me, but it looks like I have an Apple AirTag on my car.
It's something happening across the country. SmartGen Society CEO Amy Konwinski says it seems women are the main target.
We were surprised that it was just right here in our community. I know it has been nationally in some areas.
People are buying these AirTags for just $30, choosing their victims, sticking it to their cars, and tracking them using just their iPhone. And many victims like Linda only find out because they have an iPhone, allowing Apple users to receive notifications saying there's an unknown device tracking them, a new feature as reports continue to grow of its misuse. KETV Investigates reached out to Apple. A spokesperson says they're trying to deter bad actors from using an AirTag for nefarious purposes, further saying if users ever feel their safety is at risk, they are encouraged to contact local law enforcement, who can work with Apple to provide any available information about the unknown AirTag. But Linda says that's exactly what she did.
They weren't really sure what to do about the situation.
Because the technology is so new, the SmartGen Society says many police departments have their hands tied.
They feel like there's really nothing they can do
unless victims can find the AirTag. It's about the size of a quarter, making it that much easier for the person to hide it inside or around your car. Linda says her family searched her car for hours, checking the tires, behind the license plate, and even crawling underneath the car with a flashlight. But still, it was impossible to find.
It's like playing a game every day of a needle in a haystack.
So what does that mean if you can't find the AirTag?
They can't do anything without the Apple tag itself because they need the serial number off of it to find out who actually owns the device.
Without it, Douglas County Prosecutor Don Klein says it makes it harder to prove someone was stalking you.
That's the key, is what's the evidence that we have that we can prove that somebody used it for that purpose.
But he says they could be charged and served up to 3 years in prison.
Stalking by the use of this electronic device, and that's a felony, can be a felony, can be a misdemeanor.
As far as Linda, it's been months and she still can't find it anywhere.
This device could possibly track me for 2 full years before the battery dies, or if the owner decides to turn it off and start tracking somebody else.
Kaylee Searcy, KETV, Newswatch 7.
And joining us now is Captain Eric Sellers. He's with the Douglas County Sheriff's Office. Captain, thanks for being here.
No problem.
You know, you've seen these scams, you've seen frauds out there. What are some of the most common or the biggest scam going on right now that you see?
Well, with the sheriff's office, the scam we see the most is someone will call you and say, hey, you had jury duty and or you didn't pay a fine, so you're going to have a warrant. So they usually ask for money to be sent to them to pay that fine.
How does it work? I mean, when someone's calling, if I see an unrecognizable number on my phone, I'm going to say, all right, I'm not going to answer it.
Yeah, most of the time it's unrecognizable or out of the area, but they go as far as there are apps you can download to spoof numbers. Wherever this person is, it could be outside of our country, they can look on just our website to get a phone number, and then they'll put that number into the app, and when they call, it looks like they're calling from one of our numbers. On the same website, they can look and see who's in charge of certain areas of the sheriff's office, whether it's a warrants division or courthouse division, so they can use those names.
Because that seems the bad thing. I mean, I've had people I know who've been scammed by this, smart people who've been scammed by this because they think they're talking to a sheriff's deputy.
Absolutely. People I know, people that work for the county, doctors, all walks of life have fallen for this, and they'll call or I'll talk to them afterwards. They're so embarrassed. And I'm really concerned. I think a lot of people get scammed and we never hear about it because they're so embarrassed, but it's you shouldn't be, I mean, their job is to get money from you, and they'll do the best job they can. As far as they'll have scanners in the background, so it sounds like they're at a police station, but you can go and download any scanner app to have a scanner running in the background, so it sounds like they're at a police station.
So any advice for someone who, so they don't fall for this? I mean, if I see a cop is calling me, I'm going to say, well, I need to talk to you.
No police department I know, our office certainly will not, they'll never call to have a fine paid for a credit card or a gift card to be sent. So if you get called for anybody looking for money, just hang up the phone. If we really need you and it's really us, we'll come knock on your door.
I gotcha. You know, scammers traditionally have targeted older, more trusting people. Technology, though, is increasing. Is it still the case where it's usually older people, or is it anybody?
Well, I think a lot of when we see the aging part of our community, it's because a lot of landlines will be used at that time. They're calling the landlines. With technology changes, with cell phones, a lot of our cell phones will eliminate those the bad calls or the spam calls right away. So I think it's those landlines that are really getting a lot of those calls.
Gotcha. Is it usually the same people who are doing the scamming? I mean, have you been able to track back to any group?
Groups all over, and again, it's not. Most of the groups we would see wouldn't even be local groups. They're out of the area, out of the state, out of the country in most cases.
Right. And tech is a two-sided blade, really. I mean, bad guys are using it to scam people, but you guys are also using it to try to find them. How are you using tech?
Absolutely. We can, just like they're using it to get into their lives, we can use it to backtrack and find out. They'll leave a signature wherever they're at, and we can track it down to see where that phone's coming from or their computer IP address.
How does that work? I mean, take me kind of into that. If
Behind
you
the scenes, we have a few people that work with Jay Scott's crew, and their job, full-time job, is just working with computers. So to ask me how that works on the back end, I don't know. But they'll tell me about the cases where they'll track it down, and it's a lot of search warrants going through a lot of, whether it's a phone, your computer, whatever it is, and it's a lot of search warrants to get those IP addresses and then finding out who those belong to. But certainly they can do it.
And you mentioned Captain Scott. I mean, it's really an interagency effort here. It's not just the Douglas County Sheriff all by themselves, and it's State Patrol.
They're task forces, so you'll have FBI, State Patrol, Omaha Police, Sheriff's Office, multiple Sheriff's offices, and/or La Vista. All the metro agencies can be involved.
And why is that important to have a task force that's so widespread out like that?
Well, we share the information that way. Usually, you know, if you're breaking the law, it's not just in one jurisdiction. You go throughout the city to do so, and that way we can share all that.
Right. Is there tech that people should use? I mean, do you know of anything that someone could download, protect themselves, or is really the best defense to just hang up?
Just hang up. If they're calling you, just hang up. You can report it to us. You can report it to the Federal Trade Commission. What they do is, from my understanding, is they'll track trends to let the public. Let the public know what the trends are at that time. But if you're out money, let us know, or let whatever agency know that if you're in Omaha or Sarpy County, Douglas County, Ralston, let that agency know. If we can track it down to a local suspect, we certainly will do everything we can to try.
It just seems to me that it would be very frustrating to be represented by a scammer, I guess.
Absolutely. I mean, again, we get the calls. It seems like they come and go, but every time we think maybe they're done, somebody else will call and say, you know, there's a Deputy Smith calling it for jury duty, people missing jury duty. And first of all, we don't have a Deputy Smith any longer. We used to, but he retired, and he would never do that. We would never call.
Right.
Again, if you miss jury and we needed to let you know, or if you had a warrant, we would come to your door. Again, we would never, ever call and or try to collect money over our phone.
And we hear about stepping up and trying to fight cyber crimes. I mean, exponentially, are you guys having to step up too?
Absolutely. It's you know, again, I think we have 3 people that are really deep into cyber crimes right now as far as their skills, and they're training yearly. You know, we're buying new computers maybe every other year just to keep up on technology.
All right, Captain Selgers, thanks so much for being here
problem.
today. Good
No problem.
advice. Well, still to come, the technology helping Omaha police officers train for mental health calls, how the program gives them a chance to practice their responses in real time. First, if you had any issues with crime and technology, been scammed, been able to avoid a scam, email us at news@ketv.com. Love hearing from you, and we'll be right back.